Yeah, like all. I'm like, what the fuck is?
What's up, y'all? What's good? Hey. Welcome. She's like, I'm not here. Welcome to the Cannabis Closet podcast. Thank you for joining us. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to jump on. And while we're at it, it is 420. Go ahead and light them if you got them.
We got one
Light
to
it up.
share.
Light it up. Yes, we
Even
do.
though it looks like we're in a different room.
Yeah, it does look like we're in different rooms.
We are in the same room.
In the same room.
We're touching.
So,
touching you.
yeah.
I'm not touching you.
Tell your friends. Share.
Join
Invite
us.
everybody. We got some things to talk about today. Woo woo.
Got some back in here.
Some Mac. Oh, yum. I'm excited. We have a little, you can see, we have a Band-Aid
Had a
on
Band-Aid.
our blunt.
It was a little cracky cracked.
Band-Aid on our blunt.
Whew.
It's been a long week. A long weekend.
Long weekend. The Cannabis Closet.
The Cannabis Closet did Red Rocks this weekend.
Adventure Edition.
Yo. What's up, Dex?
Nexus. We haven't been in the Discord in a minute to see your smiling face.
I know. How have you been? Let me know. Yeah, let us know you're here when you pop up in the room. Because this app's not going to let us know.
Yeah, we just guess. We hope we're, yeah.
We hope for it. We got some stuff to talk about today. I am in Vail right now with MJ. As you can see, we're in the same room together. We just came back from Denver. We went to Reggae on the Rocks. And it was amazing. I'm a big fan of Revolution, so I was so excited. I got to see them 2 nights in a row, once from the top of the stadium and once from up front. So yeah, I always, if you've never been to Red Rocks, I always recommend you get tickets for 2 nights.
If you go to a day show, be prepared with water and sunscreen and shade.
Oh, and if you see Shauna, you tell her I said what's up. Listen, Shauna, don't touch people. And you don't have permission to touch people.
Don't take people's medicine.
Don't take people's things. You should be checking for weapons at Red Rocks. You shouldn't be checking for anything else. If it can't be used as a weapon, don't even worry about it, boo-boo. Okay? That's what I say. I'm just saying. But we did see Revolution 2 nights in a row and some other bands too. Third World, right? And
that was beautiful.
He sang opera and not a dry eye in the stadium. It was beautiful. The night before that was, what was that? Who was it the night before that? Bad Boys, what you gonna do?
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Those people. No. I don't know the name.
I'll think of it in a minute. I'll look at the thing. So we saw a couple bands, but the band we were there to see was Revolution. They did not disappoint me. They never do. And we got to see it. So we got rained on Saturday.
Yeah, so be prepared for rain as well. So if you do 2 nights, you will have completely different experiences.
Absolutely. So we did the first night. We were going to take some shrooms, but Shauna had different plans for us. Honestly, Shauna, you should have put those in your pocket because you need them more than we do.
I hope you did.
I really hope you did. I really hope you did. So it didn't matter. We had plenty of smoke, and we sat at the top, and we watched all the music from the top, and we got to see the beautiful Denver sky and the skyline, and
we had rows to ourselves.
We did. I'm like good portions of the road to ourselves.
Yeah, it felt like we had the rows to ourselves.
Nobody was like all on top of us. It did rain, so people left early, which was very convenient. And by the end of the night, though, it cleared up. It was really nice. And then Sunday,
It was a rainbow. We saw a rainbow.
Oh yeah, there's a rainbow Saturday
and a
night.
full moon. Whichever. If it wasn't full, then
full moon on the weekend. So we saw that. Sunday was clear and beautiful. It was hot as fuck. We got there early because we want to sit in the front row.
Bring shade.
We did sit in the front row.
We did.
As close to the front row as you could get without having VIP tickets. That was the row we were in for this concert. We were there we got there at 12:30. They let us in at 1:30, I think.
We brought fried chicken.
We did bring fried chicken.
It worked out swimmingly.
Oh, it was so good. It was
clear bags, I guess, is all the thing you got to do because
except if you bring in mushrooms, they won't let you bring in mushrooms in clear bags.
But they're porcinis for my
pizza.
Extra.
Somebody was like, "Why didn't you eat them?" And I was like, "Because we wanted them for Revolution. We wanted them for the end of the show, and it was like 2:00 in the afternoon. They would have never made it that far." So, but it was still a good night. Both nights were really good. And yeah, I might have cried a little. And it's just like church for me. Red Rocks, a good band at Red Rocks is like going to church. So,
I agree.
So we did that, and then we drove here today, which was just like 2 hours from Denver. Here we are with you. And I'm deciding how I feel if I'm going after the show or not. So I will full disclosure. Hey. So full disclosure, I've been dealing with some shit. And so I feel like I might need some quiet time tonight. And it's still light out at like 5:30. So I figure if I could get on the road around 5:30, I'll have mostly daylight with just a few hours of darkness, and I can get home by 11. It's not a big deal. So I might take that time of solitude. If you need that time, you should take it. It has been recommended to me, and I'll probably do that.
Listen to yourself.
So yeah, I want you guys to know this. This is something that I feel like I grapple with a lot. I'm very open about who I am as a person and how I live my life and how I walk through life. I'm very open about that. And so I want to say this to people who know me and, I don't know, want to know me. I don't know. But I don't think that love is, I don't think romantic love corners the market. I think you can love somebody deeply and it doesn't have to be romantically. I think you can be romantic with somebody and not love them deeply. I think that love is love. And if you love somebody, you shouldn't have to describe it.
Love is not just Valentine's Day.
Nah.
And it is not that picture.
And it doesn't mean that somebody wants to marry you just because they say they love you. It doesn't mean that they're in love with you just because they say they love you. It's just,
I love you.
I love you. I love all my friends. If I'm friends with you and we communicate on a regular basis, there's a high likelihood I've told you that I love you. And I mean it. It's not a lie.
And if I haven't, then know, if you're my friend,
that I love you. And if I haven't, I have to be honest, is something that I'm really working on right now, is that sometimes, believe it or not, I water myself down a little bit for the comfort of others. Y'all ever do that? So I've been really working on just being my genuine and authentic self all the time, no matter what. And if somebody can't handle that and they need me watered down, then, then they can't have me, because I can't be watered down. Yes, please and thank you.
Hi, Wendy.
How are you? So today we're not going to talk about how much therapy I need. I'm getting it. Don't worry. We want to do some headlines, but also we want to talk about today a conversation that we were having recently with your sister.
Yeah.
She was saying, who's she say? Who was it?
She was saying, I know because I didn't know who she was talking about.
In
and
the
apparently
beginning.
a basketball player, maybe with the name Darren in there somewhere, or Derek. I don't know. Anyway, a basketball player invested in a cannabis company. So she was like, so and so.
So he's going to be an owner. So she was
yeah,
like, and you don't know who that is?
I was like, who is this? And she's like,
and I'm like, but I don't watch basketball, but I pay attention to what's going on in cannabis. So should I know that name? Yeah, maybe I should. But that brought up the subject of celebrity cannabis. And I had some thoughts on it. So I thought, let's talk about it. Let's talk about celebrity cannabis. So do you want to do some headlines first, or do you want to just jump right into the subject matter today?
We can go into the subject matter. I started looking up just based on our start of the conversation was just, okay, what's out there. And it did bring up a few articles that have celebrity cannabis brands. I think we should just go into it and then we can follow up with some headlines.
Yeah, let's do that.
It may even prompt us to go to some of the markets that are available. So, I started with just looking at the ones that they said are the best.
The best of the best of
and
the
then,
best. What
I
qualifies
started,
them as the best is the question.
And so we were actually asking what prompted also more conversation was Queen was saying, that's great, but what are they doing with their celebrity status, their cannabis links? Are they educating, promoting, putting back into the communities, putting back into, or are they just profiting? Are they just slapping their name on a label to profit? Are they really, and then there's been the rise of celebrity cannabis, and then there's the fall of those brands. Where are those brands now? The ones that started, I think Whoopi had one. I think,
Does she still? I mean, we don't hear much about them.
We don't hear much more about them. Snoop's was big. The Leafs thing came out really hard and strong. And then now it's like, where are they? What are they doing now?
Are they only based in California? Where can we find them? We don't hear much about them. I think that the thing that, so you guys can tell me in the comments how you feel. I could be completely wrong about this. By all means, if I'm wrong, you tell me I'm wrong, and send me a link. Send me a link to back it up, because I want to read it and I want to know why I'm wrong, and I want to correct myself. But I feel like a majority, at least, of these celebrity cannabis brands, are they, I feel like I'm questioning whether or not they're contributing to our growth as an industry and a community. And what I mean by that is that your sister had said that this celebrity basketball player who owned this brand, well, he's a philanthropist and he puts his money into this thing and that thing and whatever. None of the things that she mentioned had anything to do with cannabis. And I commend you for being a philanthropist. I'm not going to put that down at all in any way. But we are still not fully legalized federally. We still have a huge problem with education. We still have a huge problem with incarceration. And not for nothing. And I think that they all have their place. And we'll discuss this further on a future episode when we talk about cannabinoids, because I really want to get into cannabinoids and the new up and coming things that we're seeing. But a lot of the hemp-based cannabinoids that are not CBD are I let it go out, I'm sorry, are a little bit chemically modified. We can't lie to you about that.
But you have to liken it almost to man-made gems. They use the same compounds. They're compressing it in a way that makes the process quicker. They're using the same chemical compounds that are available to make this thing.
They're altering the structure a little bit to create this new cannabinoid. So they're taking the structure that they already have. They're using, again, we're not going to get too into this because I definitely need to do more research on the process of this. But basically, it's a chemical process that they use to alter this cannabinoid into this cannabinoid. And now we have access to Delta 8. We have access to THCO. We have, so this is thank you very much. Kevin is in here, and I am so glad you are, because he could definitely tell us about that. Maybe we'll bring you on the show to discuss that a little bit further, because I do want to have that conversation. Now, I'm not saying I've tried all of these things. I want to say that first, not all of them, but a lot of them. I've tried the THCO. I've tried the Delta 8. I'm in it with you guys. Okay. I'm trying these things too, but you should have access to organic plant product. You should have access to organic plant product. You should have access to the compounds that the plant actually creates on its own, that we can have access to. You should also have access to that. The reason why some people in Colorado and Oregon and places like that are laughing and turning their nose up at Delta 8 is because we have an organic product that is Delta 9. And if Delta 8 is okay and has similar properties to Delta 9, then give them the organic option. Give them Delta 9. Delta 9 is clearly not dangerous. If Delta 8 is not dangerous, Delta 9 is not dangerous. Right? So I have a huge problem with that. Where was I going with this? So education, giving back. So the point is that, so there's so many states where you only have access to Delta 8 or these hemp created cannabinoids, where you should have access to all of them. And then we have these celebrities making money hand over fist because they're putting their name on a product. And then what is happening next? Are they and if they are, please tell me. Again, we're just kind of looking, and I haven't seen anything where like we have like major philanthropy within the cannabis industry from these celebrity owners.
That's how I Googled. I Google specific words, and it just popped up basic lists. It didn't attach philanthropy to them or how they're giving back. It's just the list. And then, so what I started doing was clicking on their websites. And the first two, though it promotes growing and growers and strains or cultivars being handpicked and really paid attention to, it's not talking about a little bit, the word education is thrown in there. But
everybody's going to throw the word education in. They're educating their staff.
They're sustainable, but no specific links that say, yep, here's what do you give back.
I want to know what they're doing. So these are questions I have. If I had a moment to sit down with a celebrity owner, any of them, even my best friend Snoop Dogg, if I had a chance, Snoop Dogg, give me a call. Okay, we friends. You just, when you meet me, you'll know. It's just trust me. But what I want to know is, are you hiring a diverse staff from within the community that you're serving? That's what I want to know. I want to know that. And I'm not talking about just on floor level. I'm talking upstairs, sea levels. Okay. What does the diversity look like within your staff up to your sea level? What does the compensation look like? Is everybody in your organization able to live on the wage that you pay them? Is the wage that you pay them worth their livelihood? I want to know, because literally this isn't legal federally. So at any point in time, somebody could come into power, because stupid Americans, and flip the switch, and this could potentially all go away.
Or go into a different way.
Or go into a different way. Okay. And then what are we going to do about it? Right. But so I want to know, are you paying these people enough to risk their livelihoods, to risk their whole life? I want to know those things. Do you do community events where you educate your community? I want to know that. Where they're free community events where you introduce,
let us know. So we please let us know. Promote these.
I would promote the shit out of that. Celebrity or no celebrity.
Nope.
Do you do community events? Are you showing up at the meetings where they're discussing cannabis? Are you there to back your community that you've built your business in, and you're making the money off of their backs? Tell me, are you showing up to their city council meetings and their county council meetings? Are you showing up to federal meetings about cannabis? Are you using your celebrity power to stand on a platform that you're making money from and using your voice to make the changes that we need in this industry? Are you saying very loudly on your platform that these cannabis laws are absolutely ridiculous and that that cannabis entrepreneurship should be accessible to everybody, not just you, a celebrity with a lot of money? Are you saying that, or are you just making money off of our backs? Are you fighting incarceration? Are you doing that, or are you just making money off of our backs? Is that that's see, so these are my questions when we talk about celebrity ownership. I see everybody being a like fangirl, fanboy, whatever, fan person about these celebrity brands, but I got real questions for these celebrities. You got money and you got a voice and you got a platform. How are you using it to help promote our industry and help our industry be better? Does anybody have any thoughts on that? You can definitely share in the comment section. But those were like my first, I'm glad that there are celebrity philanthropists. I don't want to, you know, be like, well, they don't do shit with their money. Yeah, they do. They're philanthropists. They do. Some of these celebrities, Tommy Chong is one of the celebrities, of course, Snoop Dogg, Seth Rogen, right? No, Seth, right?
Yeah,
Seth Rogen,
Jim Belushi,
Jay-Z, Jim Belushi, Willie Nelson, the Garcia brand is on there. And so, of course, these are also artists and names of people who also have a background in cannabis. The cannabis community has come together to support them. They sing about it sometimes, and so they're a part of our community. I want to know, though, as an integral member of our community, as an icon in our community, what are you doing with all the money you're making from us? When I say us, I don't mean me, because I don't buy your brands.
We're still waiting to make our money, and we're
you can buy my brand
to come, to us.
Yeah.
So we can buy our brand. We're working on that. So far, I mean, and then maybe this particular article isn't calling for that, but I mean, as a brand, I would expect that if my part of it were giving back and putting into, I would make sure that it is said in this. And again, the taglines of being socially responsible or sustainably responsible are there, and dedicated to the environmental responsibility of, and but then it's specific to California or specific to the area that they're in.
Okay, so I'm okay with, I'm okay. Listen, whatever I'm okay with, it doesn't fucking matter. Nobody cares. Ain't none of these celebrities, maybe they will one day, listen to this podcast. Share it with them. Share this with your favorite cannabis celebrity and ask them to please come on and explain themselves. I will be happy to hear what they're doing, and I will be happy to support it also and send y'all their way. But I want to see more. I would say that maybe Willie Nelson probably does some stuff. I want to hear more about what they're doing. Willie Nelson, I would imagine, and hopefully, because he does farm aid and stuff like that. So he also, kind of steers in that direction. He speaks out against big cannabis a lot. But I just think that there's more that these companies could be doing. And the list is long. We have we have an environmental problem that we're contributing to in this cannabis industry, and a lot of it has to do with regulations that we have to follow. So what are these celebrities with a big voice doing to help change the regulations? I would like to know. And then, like I said, fair wages, hiring people and paying them a livable wage, and watching your profits actually go up. By the way, if you want to hire, CQ LLC is the name of my company. I got lots of great ideas, and you can absolutely give me a call. I will help turn your whole situation around. But you got to listen to what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, if you hire your staff and pay them and a wage that they can afford to pay their rent and their electricity and feed their kids, then they don't have to worry about getting another job. They only have to worry about what they're doing for you every single day. Production goes up because they can pay their bills. Your plants get healthier too. It's a whole cycle. It's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. It's a whole ecosystem, if you know what an ecosystem is.
We are all part of this grand ecosystem. So that's why I just kind of wanted to talk about that today, because I just feel like we're always talking to you guys about how you need to be involved, but then we're looking at these celebrity brands. They got lots of money. They put it into our industry. They make lots of money. What you doing? What you doing to help us? I'm going to tell you this. I'm working on some projects right now. And I already have part of my business plan is philanthropy back into the cannabis industry. So make it a part of your plan. Make it a part of your whole existence. If you start that way from the beginning, that you work with diverse individuals within your community, that you give back to the cannabis community, especially, but directly to your community also, within that bubble, if you can, and part of that is showing up for meetings, showing up for events that you plan for your community. Things
Be
like
a
that.
keyboard warrior. If you're not a person in person, there are many things you can do online.
I prefer you in person.
Yes, in person too. But I mean, and some people don't have the capability to.
We're in a pandemic,
drive
so
and whatnot. So just a reminder that if you can't be physically present, you can be digitally present. You can be
on the phone, because these lawmakers are old people, so they actually answer their phone. They're not like us, where we like text me,
fax.
Please don't call me. They're not like us, So calling them is actually more effective. Also emailing them.
Twittering.
Twitter works too if you're on that situation. But yeah, be involved. But these celebrities need to be more involved, and we need to know about it. We're sitting here talking about it. If it's happening, you know what? We don't know that it's happening. So why don't we know that it's happening? Because they're not telling us what they're doing, or they're not doing it, or it's just a part of their business plan that they're not actually implementing. So what are you doing for the cannabis industry? We want to know, besides, making money and smoking our products secretly, by the way, because a lot of these, there are a lot of there are more than you think of actually celebrity cannabis ownership within the industry. They have to keep it all secret if they're still active. So some of these are active individuals, and invested in, on an ownership level, cannabis brands. So why don't you use your voice to make sure you don't have to do that secretly anymore? So why don't you use your voice to get people who were falsely arrested on cannabis charges of trumped up laws, get them out of jail? What are you doing?
What are you? And this list, exactly. What are any of some of these rappers and
you've made all of your money. If it's like, seriously, I don't mean to be disrespectful. Please don't take it as that, Snoop Dogg, if you ever watch this, because we're best friends. But as your best friend, I have to be real with you. And your song, not just you, but like, I'm saying rappers in general, your songs are about what we do. You have songs about it. So you've already made money in this community, and now you're making more money in this community. And it is time to put that money back into the community to make it better, to make our industry better, to make our industry more accessible to people who don't have money like you, to make our industry more accessible to Black and brown individuals. without having to put some bullshit caveat into your regulations to say, oh, don't forget to give ownership to the Black folks. Get out of here with that shit. Fuck you with your bullshit. Because it doesn't even say that. It says social equity, which includes white women. While having a vagina does make me a minority, let me be very clear. I still have more privilege and ownership opportunity in the cannabis industry than any person of color. And please, if you have a better terminology for that, I will take it. I'm learning every day, but right now
we've asked every episode, and I think Dawn has spoken and said,
but she doesn't speak for everybody.
No,
so
I'm not saying that she has spoken that it is all end all, but I'm
Dawn
saying
has spoken.
but
there you go. I just gave you that power, Dawn. No, she did. She did.
But you know what I mean is that as a it's just one person. She is just one person. But
when we asked that particular
as a representative,
day,
yes, that particular day as a woman of color.
But if you've made money singing about cannabis, if you know people in the communities that you hail from are sitting in prison right now because of cannabis, and you own cannabis, do something about it. Do something about it. Kim Kardashian got some dude off of death row, right?
I believe so.
Because she went and got a law degree. I'm not asking y'all to do that. And then said, hey, I'm Kim Kardashian, Mr. President. Listen to what I have to say. Just say that part every day until they listen to you. Because I will tell you this, you're going to get far more traction than me, than the people in the comments. I'm talking like they're going to ever watch this, but I have hope for one day Snoop Dogg's going to come across here. If y'all want to share it with him.
Share.
And then he's going to tell his friends, you know what? She's right. That white girl's right. I am right. I am right.
Here's how you can contact us and follow us and interact with us. Because this one has a lot to say, and you like hearing what she has to say. So come hang out with us in our Discord. Follow us later, or actually follow us now, and set up your notifications so you can catch us live whenever we are on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch.
Tell your friends.
Share like. But you can also catch us later on the Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, TikTok, and Instagram. That's where you can also interact with us. The more you interact with us, the more I will promise to interact with you. See, I'll put it on them to interact.
The more you interact with us, the closer we get to being able to do this full-time-ish.
Wouldn't you like to see us more?
I think you would.
In person.
Absolutely.
At events.
Speaking. Educating,
hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you like to have a session with us in person?
Wouldn't you like to take a class with us?
Yes.
What did she say?
So many different kinds of sessions. May I?
Yes, you may. She said that. Let's talk about it later.
So still all of these, and this article's, it's a really exciting article, so I can't. It's just like
it just talks. It gives them a little.
It's just a little
publicity
boost,
snippet.
Publicity boost. So,
but if you guys know of a popular cannabis brand that is
giving back,
then
we can give props to.
By all means, I would love to hear about what they're doing. And if you say, we'll reach out to them. We'll see if we can get them on.
So Al Harrington of Viola, he's an NBA star. Was ahead of the curve with legal weed, founding Viola in 2011 after seeing his grandmother, for who the company is named. My sister actually did tell me this one about. My sister always has the NBA on lockdowns.
It's a weird thing.
It is, but I know who to call for trivia.
She's NBA stuff.
She just likes sports in general. All of it.
We love her for it.
She will follow all golf too. Golf.
Golf.
Yes.
It's a sport. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke. Get your khakis
I don't think any of our
out of a
people will be
twist.
offended.
Get your khakis and your golf shorts. Okay, sorry.
He said Viola isn't just another celebrity brand. It's not just a money grab. We want to talk about impacting people affected by the war on drugs. Last year, Harrington launched a philanthropic initiative called Viola Cares, which aims to help formerly incarcerated people transition back into society.
There you go.
Cannabis products include concentrates, pre-rolls, and flower strains like Calabasas Kush, Super Lemon Haze, and Sex on the Peach. Viola brands are available in California, Colorado, Oregon, Michigan, and Oklahoma.
It's a Black-owned company. They are doing some philanthropy, but I gotta be honest with y'all, they got a lot of money. And they can, there's a list of things that they could do. It doesn't just have to be one thing.
Yeah.
But I'll be happy if at least all of them are doing one thing. Oh, I would be happy if all of them were doing two things. The one thing that they're going to do and also paying a livable wage. I'm not going to get off of that.
Yes, I was going to say, I think
I'm never going to get off of that. I feel like I'm going to talk about that every show from now on until we start seeing these cannabis companies that are making a fuck ton of money paying a livable wage. And when I say a livable wage, $15 an hour is just where we start, okay? It's just where we start because that's not actually a livable wage. It's just a good starting point to have this discussion. But you should be paying anybody that has to get a background check to come do your job. You should be paying them a lot more than $15 fucking an hour. Because that means that they are risking jail for fucking up. Right? They're risking loss of their career if this is their career path. They're risking loss of an income that they rely on. Whole lot of things. Was it you that was telling me that somebody had to move out of town because they got blackballed for fucking up? Had to move their whole family out of town.
Just for having
if you dedicate your life to cannabis and this is all you've done for the last 10 to 15 years, 20 years, should you be getting paid more than $15 an hour? I say yeah. Yeah. Because if you lose this, you lose everything. And frankly, while I'm paying attention to what you need and what I should be doing legally here, if I have on my mind the fact that I can't pay my rent, my family's going to get evicted. Do you think that I'm paying any attention to what you and your store need when I have needs? It's simple psychology.
If I'm an asshole, I'm stealing from you as a company.
Basic needs. If you fulfill their basic needs.
If I'm not an asshole, I'm growing on the side and taking care of myself and my family as I need to. Mm-hmm. And coming to your place and giving you half-ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and these are
I can make more growing my plants and selling it underground than you're paying me to be here all weekend.
And this is what they call the gray market as well. You know, taking from the legal industry and doing what I need to get by because the legal industry doesn't pay me enough to do what I can do.
Right. People do it. Do you punish them? Yeah. But should we be punishing also the people that are creating the problem? Mm-hmm.
So as a community, we should be taking care of ourselves. Owners should be taking care of their people so people can take care of the patients and the clients that are rolling through. And
I could just, you know what pisses me off a little bit? I was just thinking about this is tips.
Excuse me.
It's tips.
Just the tip.
It's just the tip. The tips piss me off. Tips in any industry piss me off. Tips in the cannabis industry piss me off. Do you know how much money I just spent in your store? Do you know how much money I just spent in your... This is not the fault of the dispensary agent, by the way. Do you know how much money I just spent in your store for the product? And you're telling me that you pay this person so little that tips are really going to make the difference between whether or not they pay their rent? What the fuck did you just say to me?
I think I saw it on a ad for hire where they said, the starting was 13 to 15 plus tips, which could increase your pay.
Shut the
by
fuck up,
$3 to
plus
$5.
tips. No,
Yeah,
ma'am. First of all,
if I get that
most
shift,
of y'all,
if it's busy,
if it's busy, if people are
have
tipping,
extra
yeah,
because
like give
they're
me a break.
patients and don't have a lot of money to
Come
spend.
on. Some days I just have the $100. I don't have 105, 110.
You are
Okay.
so lucky to have.
I am so lucky to have a place
facility
to get $100 ounces. Yeah. I am so lucky for that. Are you gonna die?
No.
Okay, you just was holding on.
Latent
I am
death.
super lucky about that. But I gotta tell you, it does still irritate me that I pay so much money and then tips is gonna help this guy pay his rent or this girl pay her rent. Give me a break. And most of y'all don't offer insurance either. Shut the fuck up. There are enough companies out there offering insurance right now. Go find who they're offering insurance through and offer your employees insurance. You can afford
don't
that.
Get hurt on our.
You
clock.
can afford that, and you can afford to pay them a living wage. That is worth them risking their whole life for. Did you know that Red Rocks amphitheaters will pay you $22 an hour to clean the bathroom?
After hours.
After hours. So you don't even have to fucking deal with people.
After the show. Oh my gosh, this reminds me of a story.
I was like, part-time, that looks like a good idea. Shit. Would it turn into a full-time position, Red Rocks? Do I have to work with Shauna?
Do I get to watch the show before I start?
Ah, good question. Also, can I be high? Because I'm not cleaning the bathroom not high. Nobody, if I don't have to interact with other people, I don't see what the problem would be. But $22 an hour to clean toilets. Listen, why am I working your dispensary for $12 an hour? Because I want to be a part of the culture. People get jaded and say, fuck you and your culture. I got to pay my bills.
Dude, the OGs are jaded that like got into this because they're like, yay, we get to make a difference now. And they're like, fuck you.
It's real life.
And I hear too many saying like, I'm just almost over it. Like I'm over it. I'm done. I'm done with
I've so many. Friend of mine recently definitely got a contract recently, but was like, if this doesn't happen, then I'm done. I'm done with this whole thing. And it would really be a shame because they really have something to offer to our industry. And so you're losing the good people. Those people that come through your door that are so passionate about what you have in your cultivation centers and your processing centers, those people that read about it all the time, I'm good. Those people who bother to learn the science, those people who come in every day and talk to your plants, those people who come in early, you are jading them and you are ruining this industry because of how you treat them as if they're disposable. And they are, in fact, not disposable. Those are the people we need. Those are the people we need.
To pay attention to your people that are honest and humble and work hard and just want to live and get paid.
And want to be a part of this industry for all those reasons that are right. Just because somebody is passionate doesn't mean that they don't deserve to get paid for their passion. Those people you should be paying them extra because you're not going to have to ever train another person. That person's always going to be on top of their game. They're never going to leave anything unsupervised. They're going to be the person that you can go to if there's ever an issue. And I almost can promise you that they're going to be the person that you can go to for any issue because they love what they do so much. They've learned how to do everything around them too. So If you ask that person to do something that's outside of the scope of their normal everyday activities, I can almost guarantee you that if they don't know how to do that job, they will pick it up very quickly. But they probably already know how to do that job because they've been watching, because they've been wanting to do that job. They've been waiting for you to need them to do that job. And you want to pay them $13 an hour. Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man.
You know, one of my facilities, they actually, all of them from the beginning, became partners, and they all were given opportunity to have partnership and shares, and and so it's not just one person.
Mhm.
And it's a good model, and they do educate, and they do stay on top of knowledge and strength, and keeping up with local regulations and state regulations. So I've always loved them. So
Yeah. And literally you can tell. Literally you can tell. You can walk into a place, you can tell by the quality of their flour. You can tell by the quality of customer service you get. How happy are the employees?
Huh? The one I love. I'm sorry. I was like, oh, I think it's
that's
yes.
The dispensary. I was like, what?
Sorry.
So I mean, but those are the ones. They come to work. They happy to be there. And then, like, what they probably get paid well.
They do.
They get paid well. They get paid a living wage.
That means they do. At least the ones everyone has a bad day.
Everybody has bad days, but it's, you know what? I feel like it's harder to have a bad day if I'm making $22 an hour. Right? And I can pay my rent. Because some things are like, I'm having a bad day because I can't pay my rent. Yeah. Like, that's, like,
thanks, Kim.
Make sure you hydrate. Thank you for saying so. Everybody hydrate. But yeah, so like, I feel like this is our friend. Let's see how we get through this. So I just feel like I would be happy to come to work, or happier to come to work and focused at work, if I didn't have an argument before I left with my husband about how we're going to pay the bills, because you don't pay me enough money to come to your store and love what I do every day.
Or an argument with my gas tank.
Right?
Because I don't have a husband, but because but I don't have enough money to get me to work. How about that?
So that's I'm always gonna come on here and I've been talking about it a lot more lately because it's been bothering me a lot more lately. These cannabis brands, and then we see, this isn't just for cannabis. We see all these people complaining about how the workforce is low. Oh, we have to, that's a crazy personal question, but we'll get into it in a second. We don't mind them.
I don't think this is a friend.
I don't think it's a friend either, but we'll see what happens. Nope. See, well, if we did, we'd be shit out of luck, wouldn't we? If you guys don't know, there's a YouTuber in here just commenting. So, but what I'm saying is, if you pay your people a livable wage, you don't have to have as much turnover. You don't have to take the time to retrain somebody. That costs actually more money than actually paying somebody a livable wage, is training the next person that you want to pay a penance to. It's like, I hate to compare it to a poor man's struggle, but it's like the poor man's struggle if you think about it this way. Basically, you keep buying the $10 pair of boots over and over and over again. So basically, you're spending more money on that pair of boots than the person that paid, $100 for one pair of boots that lasts for years. And so you could really have an amazing product and an amazing service that you provide to your community if you would just do one simple thing and make sure that your employees are happy and they can pay their bills. That's it. Because you're making a fuck ton of money. You're making the money. You can do it. You can do it.
Share the love. Share the love.
So
there's enough for all of us.
There is. And if you can't afford to pay a living wage, then I guess you're going to have to get your ass behind that counter yourself. Is what you're going to have to do until you can afford to pay a living wage.
And then you're small time because you can only run your little small counter by yourself.
That's it. Then you're a boutique. Then you're just
doing
a
it
boutique
by yourself.
brand.
Yep,
and that's not just for cannabis. I'm talking to everybody. Like every industry needs to hear that.
Yes.
Pay a living wage. Don't get rich while people go hungry and then go to space about it. That's ugly. Okay.
Don't go to space. Sorry.
That's ugly. So right. Let's look at this. It's 10 after 5.
I know. I was going to say, do we want to look at headlines?
Yeah, let's look at some headlines before we go. Just a couple. From NORML, NORML. If you guys are not members, I would recommend it. Go be a member of NORML. And if you have a chapter in your area, then by all means go join it. You could even be like a board member or something like that. You could really make a difference. They can always use monetary donations, volunteer as a donation of your time. They are the largest lobbying group that lobbies for cannabis. They've been around for quite a while. So yeah, go check them out. And you can go to their meetings and stuff sometimes. It's open. So you can learn a lot too. You can network in those situations. You can really, if you really want to be a part of the advocacy of cannabis, NORML would probably be a good place to start.
So I feel like some of the headlines are the same, and whether we actually fully covered them, state specifically, New Jersey cities are opting out of retail cannabis sales ahead of rollout.
Let's look at that one.
That was from, actually, this is a new one for today.
This is a new one for today, yeah. So this is called a moratorium, and cities, so even if your state law says that you're going to have this cannabis law, cities can take a measure to opt out and not allow dispensaries. So you wouldn't necessarily get in trouble for having cannabis, but it would not be something you could purchase within the city limits or the county limits or something like that. So go ahead.
That's basically what all this is saying. Just that 2/3 of the cities and towns in New Jersey at this time have elected to not to permit licensed marijuana retailers. They had until this past Saturday to decide to allow or to bar. Those municipalities that have chosen to opt out are free to reverse their position at any time.
Does it say
so
why?
As soon as they see the money rolling in, then they probably will. Mind.
That's happened from Durango, where I
Gross,
live.
Sorry,
it's okay. I was talking over you. It's fine. Durango, where I live, did this for adult use cannabis. We waited 6 months before we implemented adult use cannabis. And there's a town 30 minutes from us who still have not implemented any dispensaries in medical or otherwise. But we were in Durango having to deny people the ability to shop because we were a medical space, and there were no adult use spaces in Durango at the time. So we were having to send them to other towns to spend their money. I was like, this is dumb. I was like, this is dumb. Dumb.
Isn't government and regulation wonderful for a plant that should be
fully legal everywhere? Is it a citizen's decision, does it say, or is it a lawmaker's decision? I wonder.
I'm still getting through some of the blah, blah, blahs. Despite the mandate from their constituents, the majority of whom overwhelmingly voted in November to legalize it in New Jersey, many local officials remain hesitant of the notion of licensing operations in their communities.
So you're like, legalize it. I want to buy it, but don't put it in my neighborhood.
Exactly. So Normal's deputy director, Paul Armentano, has stated these moratoriums only serve to protect and prolong the illicit cannabis marketplace. Time and time again, we have seen that consumers prefer to obtain cannabis products from safe, licensed, above-ground retailers or caregivers. Let's not forget that we should have great caregiver laws in place and available for patients that cannot afford to go pay taxes in a facility.
What's up? Is this Trisha? Maybe? Is this Trisha? Let me know if this is Trisha.
Trisha.
From the weekend. From this weekend. So basically, okay, this is what happened. This is basically what happened. The citizens of New Jersey, overwhelmingly as a group, decided that they want cannabis. They want legal cannabis. Okay? Yeah. Then the white people said, except we don't want it in our neighborhood.
We just want the money.
We just want, yeah. And as a matter of fact, if we own businesses, which we do because we're the majority of ownership, and there's a problem with ownership outside of white male ownership in New Jersey. The numbers are low. Just like in every state, they're not the only ones. So I own a dispensary. I own a license, and I'm not going to put it in my neighborhood. I'm going to go make money in your neighborhood. Right?
And then take it back to my neighborhood and spend it in my neighborhood.
Right. And then not spend the money.
And not put it back into
exactly that part. If you guys haven't watched, what is that? Killer Mike's Trigger Warning. The very first episode talks about this. Not this specifically in cannabis, but it talks about how there's the dollar stays in the Black community for far less time than any other community. So most communities, the dollar stays in for at least over a week. But in the Black community, it is measured in hours. So the dollar is spent in these places, spent in these places, but like the businesses are making money, right? So you're taking your hard-earned money into your neighborhood business, right? But that business, maybe unbeknownst to you, is owned by a white man that lives across town, across the bridge, across wherever, right? And so that white man is taking the money, your money that is in your neighborhood, and is taking that money, saying thank you so much, and taking it back to his neighborhood and spending it in his neighborhood. Yes, it is Patricia. It is Trisha.
Yay!
It is Trisha. What's up? What's up? So
money.
So this is so I think we owe you money.
Yeah.
So this happens on a whole larger scale than just within cannabis, right? So this happens on a whole larger scale than just within cannabis, and cannabis can be different. Cannabis can be different, but they're doing it right here. They're doing it. They're saying, we want cannabis because we want to own those licenses, but we don't want it in our neighborhood at all. Right? I think you spent, we'll talk about it later. Let's not talk about it here. But
here's how, this is a kind of a roundabout. It applies, but there's a little town that in Colorado, it's called Oak Creek. They did not opt in for medical cannabis. They did eventually allow for one adult use facility to open up, and then allowed for all of the warehouses, grow facilities, and whatnot to grow there. They ended up having to redo all of the utilities to now support these grows and whatnot. So it paid for all of this work to be done. It totally uprooted the whole street and city and town of Oak Creek and I had to drive through it every day or every other week. But they essentially, again, had to be updated and got caught up to speed as a little town because of cannabis. But they only because they allowed for wholesale and quiet little behind the scene and, grows and, uh, and again, because wholesale licensing and grows are available versus just medical grows.
So it's not available directly to the community.
Yeah, no, and again, whatever.
I want to address this comment right here. Sometimes, you kind of get on my nerves, but you're making a point here that I want to touch on. How about in the Jewish community? Listen, do you know how well funded the Jewish community is? They keep that money right in their communities. They really do.
I mean, and
I don't know how long it wasn't. They like in Trigger Warning. If you're asking about the show Trigger Warning, I think they focused on larger group majority. So I don't know. I'd have to go back and watch it to see if they said anything about how long dollar stays within a Jewish community. But like even in Chinatown, I think they kind of mentioned that it was for at least like a week or something. But I do remember that in the Black community, it's only for hours that the dollar stays in. And it's because of stuff like this. It's because the white ownership wants the businesses and they want your money, but they're not going to keep the money in your neighborhood. They're going to take the money out of your neighborhood. So your neighborhood remains poor and their neighborhoods remain rich and segregated. And in Jewish communities, I'm positive, I should look up the numbers, but I'm positive that the dollar stays in that community for far, far longer. So yeah, that was for a specific person. I apologize that it posted on all three platforms, but we are on all three platforms, so it's fine. So, and also in gay communities as well, especially in largely populated areas where there's a really strong community there, they really come together and they have money to fund themselves, basically. So yeah, it was a great question though. I thank you for it.
I think there are also questions. There's facilities here that not even facilities. Because housing is horrible in a lot of areas. Denver, the mountain towns that I'm in, like housing shortage is real.
Yeah,
the cost of living is ridiculous.
And there's a food shortage happening too.
Places to live, yeah, delivery of food. My friends called me the other day. I was actually down in Denver, and she said, "There's no food up here, so just It's like, I haven't been home, so yeah, I guess I should go ahead and let me know if I need to bring anything up. Yeah, but imagine what that's doing for everything else, because we are, blocked from the West Coast and all the fires. Yeah. So it's just, and this is, it's not changing. It's not like this doesn't go away each year. And
right.
Maybe summer just magically.
Yeah.
Climate change doesn't happen.
This is also good information. Canaman. I'm just going to leave it at that. But generally speaking, I would say that also as a community, they do come together. The Jewish communities do come together and are like as like I would say maybe as, do you call it the church? Not the church synagogue. I'm bad with religions. Okay, I'm gonna mix them all up.
Jewish.
Okay, place synagogue. Worship. But what does money staying in the community even mean? You got some great questions today. We'll allow them. Okay. Money staying in the community means that if I go into a poor community and I spend my money there, right? It's supposed to help the economy. But what actually happens is the person that owns that space doesn't actually live in that community. So when they get their money, don't take that money and then distribute it in the community. They don't go to the restaurant in this community. They don't go to the grocery store in this community. They don't go to the barber shop in this community. They go to the barber shop in their community, and they spend that money that was made in your community. I know I keep saying that word. I'm so sorry.
So it's your community
But it
that's
is
going
your
in to shop
community.
at that
Right.
store.
So they take the money out of your pocket, because you shop in your community all the time. So take money out of your pocket, and instead of distributing it throughout the community and building the community, making the community better, helping to repair roads in your community, helping to build up the buildings, the taxes, all that stuff, it all equates. That's happening in their home, in their gated community, in their white community, right? Not their poor, not their Black community, not their Hispanic community, in their white community. So that's what that means. So you want the dollar to stick around in your space so that you can have a better space. That's why we talk about it. That's why it's important. That's why it's important. I know I've had this up for a while, and I just want to do a shout out to Levon Hamilton of V9 Grows, www.v9grows420.com. He is the sponsor of this show this year. He makes it possible for us to run on our StreamYard every week, and we really appreciate him. He does a show on Facebook, correct? Yes? Or is he off of Facebook now?
I don't know if he's banned or not right now.
Yeah, I feel like he was banned recently, but he usually does a show on Tuesday, and we'll get more information. But definitely check out his website, because that should have his schedule on it as well.
And
I think he was like looking at no, I think he was looking at Cannabuzz, maybe. I think he's been posting on Cannabuzz lately.
Yeah, yes.
I want to say.
What I have seen, and because I have not been as active on social media either, the last I saw was that he had the 30-day ban and then was like, we're going to just be done with it anyway and jump ship and go elsewhere.
Yeah.
And so they have this, he said they have their app, their .com, go there for the updates and the links to get to where they're being live, where they're live. But I think 7 p.m. Central Standard Time is still their going time, their live time.
Canna Man Go, you got good questions today. The reason why people think that Jews are so successful is because the church is very successful and rich, and it is representation.
And they are a community that supports each other.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
So we're not talking about individuals.
Asian people also have, if you were to say it's not just a Jewish thing, but Asian people coming to the U.S. have a system. They support each other. They work for each other. They utilize each other's services and are there for each other in shit times like this. I
would say too, to this comment, well, they are white. Yes, they are white. I would say Jewish people, I would say majority, not all Jewish people are white. Let's get that clear. But I would say a majority of representation of Jewish people are representative white. When you look at them, they definitely would benefit from white privilege, but also they are persecuted people that we have to remember that part too. So the struggle is real, is what I'm saying. Yeah, so exactly that. And actually, that's a really well-connected, the Chinatowns throughout the U.S., that's a really they're a really well-connected community. They actually, Asian communities, not just Chinatown Asian communities, but like Asian communities in general. I have had friends tell, and Aziz Ansari does this joke about it too, but basically, if you go to school and get a higher education degree, they will tell you where you have to go. You have to go here and build your business here in middle of Texas, nowhere, brown guy. Go do it. Doctor up. Right. And so
insert yourself.
Yes. Insert yourself into this community and be their doctor in a private practice. This is where you're going to live and make your money and build your family. And it's like that tightly connected in that. And like, there's a hierarchy to it. I would not even ever pretend to understand, but, yeah, it's it's interesting. And that's not like Aziz Ansari tells a story about his uncle having this happen to, when he got his, I think he was a doctor. But I've heard this from other individuals as well. It's like, well, no, we're moving to such and such a place because that's where we need business. Our business is needed or whatever. I think about nail salons in that way too. They're all privately owned, but it's like there's an interconnectedness.
The way that I think it's laid out in the Crazy Rich Asian book is that essentially they go to community, they start and say, okay, here's your nest egg, and we're sending you into this area with this and money for your business, but we're also sending along your cousins and your neighbor.
Yeah, you got to hire
and
all of them.
your village.
You have to hire
sending
them,
your village,
right.
and you hire your village, and then those people they put in their hours, they work, and they get their shop in this town, and then their village goes with them, and then their village goes with them.
You stay put, because I see you. Okay.
I'm getting cold, or I got pee. All these things are happening for me right now.
Listen. Okay. Don't be a bigot. Let me explain whiteness to you. I'm white. Okay. But had I been born in Spain and looked like this, I would be Spanish. Okay. But I present white, so I would still benefit from white privilege. And it is European privilege, but I would still be Spanish. Okay. Jewish people are not all white, and let's just be clear about that again. And also, white Jewish people do benefit from white privilege, but they're Jewish. They have descent, like,
and they also work hard. Stop it! Like, you know how many people? You know how many Jewish people I know that work really hard for their money, that work really hard for their community.
But I gotta say this:
just stop with the privilege.
They're white. We know. Listen, we call out white privilege all the time. We don't need help with it. Listen,
but you know what? They also were persecuted as a
whole community. Like they were,
so just like you're in the
somebody,
wrong comment.
Somebody tried to eradicate their culture. Like you can't talk about in the same space that you talk about, European white men that are Americans, that are born and raised in America. You can't. It's not the same thing. So anyways, I know, I mean, there are lazy. Okay, let's not perpetuate stereotypes here. Come on, that's not what we do.
I'm not really good at math.
So okay. What is this show turning into? Okay. So I just want to, so we don't want to talk about that, and like we don't want to generalize people like that at all. But yeah, I mean, we do recognize that people that look white do benefit from white privilege. And also they can benefit from white privilege and also have a history and a culture that is generational and affects them and their families to this day. So remember that when you're talking about those types of things. If you think that Jewish privilege exists, it's probably because they fought to have that privilege, just like people fight every day to have that privilege or keep it. And it's been, they came up, and the survivors, there are people who still remember that time, that are still alive. So let's not make light of that. We're not going to be bigots here. Okay. Cause I'll block you again. I don't even care.
Yeah. You're treading on the,
I'll block you again.
On the block button, dude. Because
I'm a white person. I work hard. What you trying to say?
Yeah, you're generalizing. You're
so y'all. There's a YouTuber. There's a YouTuber just being a troll right now.
He comes through comments, and then
he comes through and he plays mind games with us, and we enjoy it for a moment. And now
because he does it,
there was some good points, but now you're just kind of trying to have your own conversation. And you're kind of steering us clear of our goal, which was 13 minutes ago. So having said that, we missed 420 on the West Coast. Thanks a lot. It's your fault. We're going to blame you for everything. That's from now on. If you come in the comments and it happens badly, it's your fault. That's what's happening. throwing us off course here. I am making a decision right now, so I will I'll let you know what that decision is. You know who you are. I haven't decided yet. I think I can do it. So we'll see. If I get off of here now. So
Yeah, you didn't even unpack anything.
I
Just
didn't.
my shit. My shit is
No.
out of your car. Oh,
Yeah.
my jacket's in your car. I need to grab that.
So everybody, it's been a great show. I think it's been a great conversation. If you have anything actually to add to the conversation, we'd love to hear it. Throw it in the comments. You know, don't be a dick. Okay. Just saying. And also additionally, share our feed, follow, like, what is the other thing? Oh, set your alerts so you know when we come on. And that's it. And be nice to yourself.
Cultivate love.
And stay lifted, everybody.
Stay lifted. We're about to go. I'm gonna send her off right.
You can send me off right. All right. We'll see you guys next time on Monday at the latest. I promise. All right. Peace out.